G'day, it's Rusty and welcome to the channel. In today's video we're going to be installing on my plasma cutting table's Z-axis a 2-beam laser unit that allows me to align the position of the torch accurately over the steel when I need to position the torch over the steel accurately. Okay, and the unit I'm going to use is, this is what I'm using. It's called a Wixey drill press laser and it's a model WL133. So what it does, it's actually meant for a drill press, and it has 2 laser beams here and it points downwards. It has these 2 posts, and the idea being, depending on the size of the shaft of or the main body of a drill press, there's another plate that can attach on here to make these further apart. And the idea is you put in the box it comes with a big hose clamp, and it comes around these 2 and screws up around the back of the actual solid upright of the drill press. Now I'm not going to use that on my torch because it's a carbon fibre body torch, but what I will do is mount this in such a way that you can use these 2 posts and put a cable tie around the body of the torch, and I'll show you where I'm going to put it on the torch. Wherever I put it, it's actually going to be moving up and down with the torch, so wherever I put it, the 2 beams that cross over and make a right angle will move in relation to the torch at some point. So what we need to do is work out a way that we can install it and use it with the torch in a certain position, and that's what we'll be doing today. So the beams have adjustability. You can adjust the location of the actual center of the beam by moving these little screws. It's got a battery compartment in here and an off-on switch on the side. So let's get to it, and I'll show you how we're going to mount it first, and then we can install the batteries and show you what it looks like, and then we'll do a test pierce and then line this unit up and make sure we get the crosshair over the top of that pierce point. Okay, so this is the unit itself. They're the 2 laser beams that point down, battery compartment, and there's an adjusting screw. There's an adjusting screw, one in there and one on the other side, and that allows you to position the beam accurately. And these are the 2 posts that they've used a clamp. I'm going to use a cable tie to support it to the torch. So what we're going to do first is I've positioned the torch, I've zeroed it, and I've got it 2 mil above the plate, which is typically the pierce height. We're going to fire the torch and turn it straight back off to give me a reference point. So as long as we don't move anything here, just move the torch up and down, we'll be able to move the torch up away from the pierce point, mount our laser and get the reference for that pierce point. So let me just do that now. Alright, so now that we've fired the torch and pierced, I'm just going to raise that torch up. Now, there's a pierce point right there, so that becomes our point of reference, and we'll mount the laser, we'll power it up, and we'll adjust it until we can get that to line up on that pierce hole. Now, I've put the batteries in the unit. They fit in this front compartment. Pointing it down, there's an off-on switch here. I was planning on sort of putting it maybe up here or down here. So if I turn it on and hold it in this position, you can sort of see where these beams are, and I guess I can either put it there or maybe up higher. Well, up higher is not going to work because it's crossing over there, so it's got to come here somewhere. And I suppose the closer it is to the torch, I'm going to get sparks and fumes on it, so I'm going to mount it there. And initially I'm going to use the trusty cable tie. Now, so I don't make a fool of myself, let me attach this and then I'll come back and show you how it looks. Okay, so it's mounted in this position up under this torch support, and the cable tie is as tight as I can get it. So what I'll do is, if I turn it on, I'll just zoom that camera in so you can see where the beam is. Okay, so you can see where the pierce point is right there, and at the moment those beams almost on it. So I've got some adjustability here with these little screws. I'm not quite sure which way they go. Okay, and we're around this side. This screw here. Okay, so this right hand one moves that beam line across. You can see it moving. There it is there. So I can position that right over that hole. And this other one, if I go around to this one, it seems to have come all the way out. So, okay, so that's screwing it in is moving the beam forward. So I need to bring it back. And I'm pretty much run out of travel right there. So if I can position that, oh, that's better. Right, so if I leave that right there, I can, that's positioned directly over the hole. So that was pretty simple, really. That was pretty easy to do. One thing I need to do is I'll wind the torch down to the material and you actually see if those beams move very far. Now if you can see that, the crosshairs, the cross on the beams is actually about 5 mil to the front and slightly off to the right. So that doesn't matter, you see. The beauty of the beam, when the torch is in the raised position, I don't need the torch on the metal to get it in the right spot. That's the good thing. Yeah, that's really good. So now what we've got is we've got the two beams crossing right over the top of that pierce point. The torch is up out of the way, which I think that's really going to be the place to leave it. And what it means for me is that I don't need the torch on the metal to actually find where the center point is of the torch. So that was a pretty easy and simple way to set up this Wixey WL133 drill press crosshair laser. I read about this particular laser while I was searching for, you know, some sort of laser device. I've seen different ones made that have an attachment on here and have two lasers, and I come across someone mentioned this particular one in one of the plasma forums. So I had a look at it and I bought it online. It's quite easy to use. As you can see, it's quite a simple setup. You can turn it on and off so it's not running all the time. And the beauty of it is with the torch up out of the way, the beams work really well to give me a nice crosshair, so I don't need the torch right on the metal to actually find where it needs to be. But this way, the torch can be up out the way. I know that when it's at its full height, the cross of the beam is exactly where the pierce point will be, or where the edge of the metal needs to be, depending how I've got it set up. And yeah, it's going to make so much easier setting up the table. And also when I do those index cutting files where the file's bigger than the table and you've got to move it around, you've got to be so accurate with where everything lines up, this is certainly going to help me. So if you like the video, a thumbs up would be appreciated. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, the subscribe button is down here. And if you'd like to support me on the channel, you can buy me a coffee. There's a link in the description below. I certainly appreciate all the support I've been getting. If there's something you don't like about the video and you give it a thumbs down, appreciate you putting in the comments what it is you don't like, because I'm always trying to make better content. I will put a link to this device, this crosshair laser, in the description, and if you're looking for one, you might want to check it out yourself. If you haven't seen the recent video where I was connecting up the Game Boy controller to my MyPlasm software to run the torch around, standing up close and being able to align it, so I'll put a link to that video up here for you. So that's it for this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.